are here to wake up, wake up, wake up together. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Aloha.
I'm Cassie.
And I'm Victoria.
And we're back today to talk about how you can find more safety, security, and support in finances and relationships, and how this ties into the root chakra, the root energy center, and what that even is.
Yeah, we're excited to share this. We are on a curious exploration through the energy centers, and today's going to be part one of a 7-part series where we share each chakra with you guys and what they are associated with. And so today we're speaking about the root chakra, and like Cassie says, how that is associated with our relationships and pretty much our relationship to everything, our relationship to our family, to our finances, to our life in general. And yeah, looking forward to sharing this with you guys.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when we come from the world of energy healing, and so bringing this knowledge into the regular world is so helpful, because it's helped us both so much understand what's going on with our patterns with finances, for example, or our patterns with family in different relationships, and just our relationship with life in general. And so, yeah, the root chakra is the chakra, the energy center that sits at the base of our spine. And, well, what is an energy center? Would you like to share?
Yeah, what is an energy center? Well, we have 7 major energy centers in the body, and each energy center feeds the major glands in the body. And so there's this energy field around every single one of us, around everything that's alive, and that feeds us and whatever is alive, plants, animals, with this vital life force energy that keeps us healthy, keeps us with this vital energy. And so today we're going to be speaking about the root, as we've mentioned, and the root chakra, the energy center, feeds the adrenal glands. And so that's the gland that it feeds, and that's what keeps us in a state of balance in terms of our nervous system. So when the root chakra is a little bit out of balance, the nervous system is also out of balance. And that's when people are in a bit more of a stressed state, and life can feel a bit more hectic. And then when the root chakra is open and the energy center is flowing, we feel really connected to ourselves, we feel connected to the earth, and we feel connected to each other, and so we feel at ease. And then our nervous system is also in balance because we are at ease.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I just want to say hello to Armand. Thank you for watching. Say hello if you're there. Yeah, beautiful description. And we have this energy field around us that is feeding our bodies. And so it's so exciting to talk about the root, because the root chakra, as I said, is at the base of your spine, and it connects us to the earth. It's where we are able to connect with this support. Hello, Armand. With this supporting energy that we're receiving all the time, moving up from the earth and into our bodies. And when that energy is blocked, we'll say, and it's not flowing as it normally does, then we can experience these root chakra issues, which are issues with our relationships and with our finances. And maybe one repeating pattern that I've seen in a lot of people is, like, as you start to maybe make more money, seeing it all just disappear. Like, it's like no matter what amount of money you make, it always seems to be going out the door. And so any pattern like that you have with finances is something that's associated with the root chakra, and can be a potential blocked or distorted energy in that area.
Yeah. And how does this happen? Like, how do our energy centers get blocked? Well, it's really based on what you're speaking to, is these patterns that we develop. And it's really from our childhood. From 0 to 7, we get imprinted with whatever environment that we're living in. And so for myself, I'll speak honestly and vulnerably about where I'm at with my root chakra. We'll speak in terms of finances. Finances have always been a really funny thing for me, and I developed a pattern and an imprinting when I was young, a distorted view about money. because my dad was he was really good at managing his money, but he vocalized it a lot. He spoke about money a lot, and so I grew a really funny relationship with it because it sounded like I didn't want to be in relationship with money. He was angry a lot, or he got angry a lot about it, or I think he was wanting to keep our family safe and making sure that we were all safe and well taken care of. But in that process, I got to see someone being super stressed out about it. And so it was like, as a young child, being like, this just looks terrible. And so I developed a really strange relationship with money where I was kind of mad at it. I just didn't understand it. I saw it making my dad super stressed out, so why would I want to be in relationship with that? And so for myself, I had some blockages in my flow and my root with that. And so it's taken for me some years to be able to unveil that and be able to see it for what it is, and now to come into right relationship with money and see it as something that supports me and supports my life, and I'm able to share it with others when I have it. So yeah, that's how we develop these blockages, is really from what we're seeing in our environment when we're young. And but there is a solution. Yeah, we have the solution. What is that? Bioenergy.
Yeah. I mean, we're both bioenergy healing practitioners, and I would say the first large part of a session is about clearing the root and connecting back to that flow of energy, because if the root isn't receiving that energy, then everything else in the body will be affected. So it's just such a vital piece. And for me, it's so funny, like just hearing your story reminds me that we all have such a unique money story. And sometimes we're aware of it, sometimes we're not. And when we come into awareness of it, it's like, wow, okay, that's where I picked up my beliefs from. That's where I picked up these patterns from. And it's not our fault, and it's no one's fault. It's not our parents' fault. Everyone was just doing the best that they could with the knowledge that they had. But it still can have an impact on who we are today. And even in our relationships, like how you related to your family would have created a set of beliefs and a way of being, a pattern that may be carried forward into adulthood as well.
Yeah. It's really quite mind-boggling and amazing what can happen. For myself with relationships, another example, something that I've been able to see more recently and grow from, and then become more connected to myself as a result of releasing this pattern, is that when I was born, I'm a twin, and at birth I was separated from my twin brother, and we were put into separate incubators, and I almost passed away because they didn't turn the incubator on. So I was cold, like freezing cold, and they found me really cold. And so I had this imprinting, this pattern from birth, that being separated was death, really. I was going to die if I was separated from my brother. And so I developed a really funky relationship around relationships. I feel like I really wanted to always be in relationship to feel safe, because being disconnected meant potentially death. But I was also really afraid of relationships because they could be taken away. And so that was my imprinting from a really young age. And so for me, it's been like really clearing my root and unraveling that, to be able to then see that pattern, so that I'm no longer holding that fear in my body, in my root chakra. And as I've released that, I've become more connected to myself, and now I'm more connected to my friends and to my family and everything. So yeah, it's amazing what happens. It can be quite complex, but it can also be really simple to release that energy and move it, so that we're all more connected to ourselves through our root chakra.
Yeah, beautiful. As you're speaking, I had I had a realization, something that I've been playing with a bit over the years in relation to finances is, growing up, I never went without anything that I needed. But my parents were very frugal. They would spend their money wisely and, do the couponing and all of that. And so I remember just feeling like, oh, there's some sort of limitation on money. There's some sort of shortage. And so I lived with that feeling. And then a couple years ago, I had my bank account go down to like much below zero. So basically, like, what I guess was my deepest subconscious fear would be that there was no money. There was nothing. I remember actually I was selling items from my apartment. I was selling like a blender and like a kettle, and I would make like $5 and then I would go buy a coffee. Because this was at a time I had invested so much in my personal growth and in my business knowledge and things like that. But at the time, there was no investment coming back to me. And so it was like, oh wow, okay, I've hit this point that could be what this big fear is. And just seeing that and coming to understand, am I still okay? Am I still alive? Like, okay, do I still have friends? Yes. Do I still have somewhere I can go? You know, I always have my parents. Do I, like, am I really in a hard time? And going through that was like, you know, obviously it's not ideal, but it was like, oh, okay, this isn't too bad. This isn't so hard. It was manageable, and I moved through it fine. And then what was so interesting was coming out of that and still having this like tight grip on money, as if going back to that would be the end of the world, when I had just lived it and seen that it wasn't as bad as my fears could have imagined. But it was that programming, it was that pattern, that belief of the need to like constantly be holding on to the money. So it was really interesting to see that continue even after I had lost everything. And so really these patterns are so deeply ingrained in us and stored in our bodies, in our energy centers, in our cells. And so it's bringing awareness to them and bringing clearing and purifying to these areas that it really is the answer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise we just keep on that hamster wheel of creating the same pattern over and over again. Whether it be, you know, relationships with family members not being so good, or finances not being that great. This is what happens when our root chakra isn't flowing. And so like you speak to, it's a matter of really coming into awareness with it and then being able to purify that space or receive energy healing where you can release that energy so that you can be more connected to yourself. And then from that, it's a really neat experience to be able to start to come to awareness with this and see it within yourself, and then to be able to connect back in and start to really trust life. And so when our root chakra is open and flowing, we're connected to our roots, which means if you think about that, that's like our foundation, you know, that's our strength, that's where we feel safe and secure. And when we feel safe and secure, our whole nervous system comes into balance. And because of that, the body feels safe and our interactions feel safe, and interacting with anything in life feels really like, I got this, I'm grounded, I'm here. And there's also a deeper connection that we have with the earth. We're so deeply connected with the earth, and I think that's something that all of us have really kind of forgotten. Well, I can't really say all of us, but a lot of us, for myself, I know, forgot that connection. And you know, you can get so busy when we're in that sort of fight or flight state of being stressed out. We forget our connection. We forget our connection to this beautiful earth that really holds us and nourishes us and provides us with so much support. And so when the root starts to open and we start to really receive that energy and receive that support from the earth, we feel like unstoppable, you know, and just really confident and calm and clear. And so yeah, that's the journey through the root.
The word unwavering comes to mind. An unwavering trust in life, and knowing that you are here and you are here for a reason, and trusting and believing that fully is the gift that comes from being connected to your root.
Absolutely, yeah, we're always supported. Something funny that we're actually going through a course right now, Cassie and I are holding a course called Unlocking the 7 Feminine Essences. And so we're going on a journey through the chakras as well, and helping to purify and expand these energy centers so that we can step into these full, beautiful beings that are confident in our bodies. And I've just been able to see this last week for myself. It's been amazing because we're on the root chakra, which is all about what we're speaking about, which is safety and security and feeling deeply connected to ourselves and our relationships. And I'm actually going through a process of moving homes and leaving a relationship, but in a really beautiful way, and then coming into deeper connection with my family members. And so it's just so cool to see the synchronicities between what we're engaged in life and then what our life experiences are bringing toward us. And that's just an example. I really wanted to bring that up to show how well supported we are, because I'd planned this move a while ago, and I'm not sure if I even was associating the fact that we're going to be doing this course and going through the root chakra clearing and healing, and then having this big move and this big relationship shift happening all at the same time. It's like I'm so supported and held, you know, by this course, by what we're doing, and by even speaking about this right now. It really helps to make this transition so much smoother. And so yeah, when we start to be connected to our root, we can really slow down. You know, it helps us to be really present with life. And when we're really present and we've slowed down, we can start to see that life is supporting us. And all these life experiences that are coming our way are helping us to expand ultimately into better versions of ourselves.
Yeah, I love seeing that, the experience that you're going through as we move through the root chakra. And I know for me, it's so funny. When I first got into energy work, I was like, oh, the root, that's the boring one. Because like as you move up the energy centers, it's like clear vision and expansion. And I've always felt like an expanded being, like bubbly and all of that. And I was like, oh, the root's boring. And now it's the most important. And so my last couple years have been spent rooting, first clearing what's there in that energy center, and then rooting. So rooting with foods, rooting with doing my yoga teacher training and incorporating yoga every day into my life, grounding practices, going outside and connecting with the earth and spending time with nature, or doing cold dips. It's like, it's so important, because if you can have all of this, you can be the most bubbly, enthusiastic person ever, but if you're not grounded in it, then you're not, for me, I can speak, you're not going to get that much done, and you're not going to feel like alive and present with what you're doing. It's all just going to be kind of like a blur that passes you by, and that's kind of what my experience was like.
Yeah, I can totally resonate with that. Yeah, flying free and then forgetting things because you're just flying, and this way is just, there's so much more satisfaction, because it's just such a deep connection, and it just slows everything down, and then our connection to ourselves is so much deeper. So you want to look after your body. Like, I really want to care for my body, and care about the foods that I'm eating, and you know, care about my finances, and care about my family members and my connections to my friends and all that. Whereas before I was kind of flying through life, and having a lot of fun, but not feeling that connected. And because I wasn't feeling that connected, I didn't feel that safe. It was very fleeting. My fun was fleeting. It was kind of like up and down all the time. And now with this like real sense of connection to my root, I'm able to feel super safe and connected to life. So yeah.
And Armand says deep breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's in relation to that, when we deeply breathe, we're connecting to our breath, so there's that form of connection, and it's also helping our nervous system to relax and come into harmony, which helps us to land deeper in our bodies and in our roots. So yeah, exactly. That's why that helps.
Beautiful. Yeah, the root is amazing. And so, if you're wanting to dive a little bit deeper with that, learn more, or experience an energy healing session, then please reach out to us. And yeah, it's such a big thing right now for us to reconnect to ourselves, reconnect to the earth, and that would help our society a lot right now.
Yeah. Because imagine, like, if one system, like us, or two systems, we're grounded now, we're rooted, and we're feeling safe and secure. If we could all do that together, like, imagine our earth would be so peaceful. It's like, it gives you a real sense of peace and safety. And so, yeah, join us.
Yeah.
Reach out for help if you need it. We'd love to help you anchor in and, get connected to you.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, and join us as we move through all 7 chakras. We'll be diving into each energy center and talking about the issues that may come up and what it's like when this space is clear.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is part 1 of 7. And so we'll be doing it every Tuesday and we said Friday? Yeah, every Tuesday and Friday. Maybe not this Friday, but next week will be Tuesdays and Fridays from then on.
Yay!
Until we've gone through the 7.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a beautiful day.
Do, do, do.